Myself, Tanvesh Reddy, of first year of engineering, CSE Cybersecurity from Sri Venkateswara Engineering of College. I'm going to explain on the topic classes and methods. That we are going to learn in classes and methods, object-oriented features, printing objects, and the init method. Let us learn about object-oriented features. Object-oriented programming is a programming paradigm that uses objects, which are instances of classes, for structuring and organizing code. Python is a versatile and powerful programming language that supports object-oriented programming. Here is an introduction to some key object orientation features in Python. Classes and objects. A class is a blueprint for creating objects. It defines a data structure and behavior that the object will have. An object is an instance of a class. It is concrete relation of the class with its own unique data and behavior. Encapsulation. Encapsulation is the building of data and method that operate on the data into a single unit, which can be class. It helps in hiding the internal implementation details and exposing only what is necessary. Inheritance. Inheritance allows a class, subclass or a derived class to inherit the properties and methods of another class. Superclass, base class. It promotes code reusability and establishes and is a relationship between classes. Polymorphism. Polymorphism allows objects of different classes to be treated as objects of a common base class. It enables methods to be used interchangeable by objects of different types. Abstraction. Abstraction is a process of simplifying complex systems by modeling classes based on the essential properties and behaviors. It allows you to focus on what an object does rather than how it does it. Let us learn about printing objects. Printing objects in Python typically involves using the print function to display the string representation of an object. Every object in a Python has a built-in method called string that defines how the object should be represented as a string when using the print function. Here is an example. We are going to take an example as a class as a person, and we are going to define init self name and age, and we're going to take self name and we're going to give name, and we're going to take self age and we're going to give any age we required. Next, we're going to define the string of self, and then we are going to return the self name what should be printed and the self age. Then we're going to give a person name which we want to know the age and the name. Then we are going to print that person. The init method. Let us learn about the init method. In Python, the init method is a special method that is automatically called when an object of a class is created. It is also known as the constructor method. The purpose of the init method is to initialize the attributes of the object and perform any other setup or configuration that needs to be done when an object is created. Here we are going to take example as my class as the class name, and we're going to define init, and we're going to take some parameters, and we're first parameter 1 and the second parameter 2. Then we are going to define some method self, which is self attribute and self attribute 2. My object is equal to my class. We are going to take two values, value 1, value 2, and then we are going to create the object of that method. In this example, when an object of my class is created, this my object, the init method is automatically called with the specified values for a parameter 1 and parameter 2. Inside the init method, the attributes attribute 1 and attribute 2 are initialized with the provided values. Later, the sum method can be called on the object to access the use these attributes. The self parameter in the init method refers to the instance of the class itself. It is a convention in Python to use the self as the first parameter in the instance method. Now let us come to a conclusion. In Python, classes and methods play a fundamental role in object-oriented programming. They provide a way to structure and organize code in a modular and reusable manner. Here are some key points to conclude about classes and methods in Python. Object-oriented programming, where Python is an object-oriented programming language and classes are a cornerstone of OOP. Classes. Classes are blueprints for creating objects. Methods. Methods are functions defined inside a class. Constructor. In constructor, the init method is a special method in Python classes that is called when an instance of the class is created. Inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation. Thank you.